All right. Okay, so that's actually it for my traditional questions. So now, like, this is how do I want to say it? This is pro brewer focus. This is ask your friendly pro brewer. This is I don't know. This is it's maybe it's not a segment, maybe it is, but these aren't questions. This is some of the stuff. This is from some of the, because I've been on my grind, baby. I've been on my grind. I tell you guys to, ladies and gents, I say, listen to podcasts one way on your commute, not even both ways. So I've been trying to take my own medicine. Physician, heal thyself. All right. That's what I've been trying to do. And so I've been listening to podcasts. So here are a few things. So I've got a few nuggets that I pulled out of episode 352 of the Beer and Brewing Podcast. And this one, they interviewed Chris Loring of Notch Brewing. And they did a little bit of a deep dive on traditional lager brewing and the production of diacetyl. And in this episode, they talk about brewing Czech style lager. And he was saying that because he was formerly trained in the Czech Republic, he was saying that these Czech lagers should have character and they should be expressive. And not everything is just a crispy boy, right? Like not everything, goes super dry and is, super clean, right? And he said, so anyways, that was kind of his take on some of that stuff. And it's really worth a listen. And so they were talking about diacetyl production and using traditional lagering tanks. Okay, so we're not looking at a scenario where we're passing VDK in a tank under normal conditions and then transferring to a lagering tank. They'll say it's pretty standard practice to be transferring a fermenting beer with one or more Plato to go into a lagering tank where it will be there for a while. And if the cell count isn't high enough to be able to deal with all of the diacetyl, or maybe not even deal with all the precursor, issues can come up. So let me read what I have typed out here. It says they were talking about when brewing with traditional lagering practices, where a brewer may move a fermenting beer into a horizontal tank with 1 degree Plato left in fermentation. The diacetyl precursor, known as acetyl lactate, and that precursor isn't that acetyl lactate is not something that can be smelled or tasted unless it is oxidized. ... Pregnant pause. So it can be there in your beer and you don't know it until packaging, right? Because it's not going to manifest on the cold side, but at packaging, it could manifest itself because of O2 pickup. So you can actually have a diacetyl-free beer going into package, but then it will develop diacetyl over time as that acetyl lactate oxidizes. That yeast would normally take care of the precursor if you leave the beer with sufficient yeast count to let it mature. However, if you are using some traditional methods of a long-term lagering tank, you can run into this issue. So really fascinating stuff. You might say, well, then if you're running all those, those risks, why do you want to go into long-term storage tanks, potentially lagering up to months? The research suggests that there actually are chemical compound differences between those beers and beers that aren't long lagered like that. There's a great Technical Quarterly article that I wrote about, and they're still working out ways of like actually measuring those things. But anyways, there's some cool research happening out there. And yeah, I would definitely recommend you checking out this episode 352. Where they talk Czech lager. This is just one of the nuggets that I enjoyed off of that concept of something I didn't realize, that you can have that precursor, acetyl lactate, in the beer it won't manifest itself until after packaging because of the DO that is picked up through packaging. That was an eye-opener for me. So shout out to Beer and Brewing Podcast, great podcast, Chris Loring, and Notch Brewing. So much love to all those people, and check that spot out if you can. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.